Sam learned the hard way that power doesn't announce itself. It shows up as a smile that's a little too slow, a compliment that feels like a leash, a meeting you weren't invited to that suddenly decides your future. And if you don't understand the game, you don't get to opt out. You just become the piece other people move. That's why this matters. This is the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. And what you're about to hear isn't a become a villain manual. It's a map of how influence actually works in real life. At work, in friendships, in families, in any room where status exists. We're going to walk through every major law and the patterns underneath them, so by the end, you'll be able to spot power moves early, protect yourself fast, and play smarter without losing your soul. Sam is the kind of guy who tries to be good at his job, keep his head down, and do things the right way. Late 20s, smart, calm, reliable. Those traits make him useful. And in a power game, useful can quietly turn into disposable if you don't know how to position yourself. So let's start where most people get blindsided. The first law sounds simple, but it's a landmine. Never outshine the master. This isn't saying be small. It's saying be strategic about who gets to feel big. In every hierarchy, someone above you wants to feel like the sun, and everyone else is supposed to orbit. If you shine too brightly, you don't get applause. You trigger insecurity. Sam learned this in a meeting that should have been his win. He'd stayed late for 2 weeks tightening a messy project, and when the numbers finally looked clean, he explained it clearly. The room nodded. His boss even smiled. Then, later that day, Sam got a message. Great work, but next time don't make it sound like I missed it. Sam didn't even know he'd done that, but he had. It's like wearing a bright white outfit to someone else's wedding. Even if you didn't mean it, you changed the spotlight. Power hates surprise spotlights. So the move isn't to hide your value. It's to deliver it in a way that makes the person above you feel like they discovered it, or that you're extending their brilliance, not replacing it. Now, the next law is where people get emotional and lose their head. Never put too much trust in friends, learn how to use enemies. Most people think a friend will be loyal because of feelings. Greene's point is colder but useful. Friends can feel entitled or jealous, or comfortable enough to take you for granted. An enemy, on the other hand, has something to prove. If they switch sides, they work hard because they're trying to rewrite their story. That doesn't mean you go around collecting enemies like trophies. It means you stop assuming friendship equals reliability. Think of it like hiring. The person who already likes you might slack. The person who wants the chance might outperform. So the question isn't, do they like me? The question is, what do they want and what do they risk if they betray me? And that leads directly into a law that protects you from people who smile while taking notes. Conceal your intentions. If people can see your destination, they can block the road. If they can't organize against you. This doesn't mean lying all the time. And it means not handing your plan to the room before the plan is ready. Sam once told a coworker he was thinking about applying for an internal promotion. He said it casually, like it was harmless. 2 days later, the job posting got updated with the requirements Sam didn't have. And another candidate who just happened to be close with the manager suddenly looked perfect. Can you guess what Sam did wrong? He didn't lose skill. He leaked direction. A plan is like dough. If you keep opening the oven to show everyone, it won't rise. Next is one of the most underrated weapons in any power environment. Always say less than necessary. People assume talking more makes them seem smarter, safer, more liked. But the more you say, the more you reveal. Your doubts, your motives, your angles. Silence feels like confidence. Over-explaining feels like permission to interrogate you. It's like pouring too much syrup on pancakes. A little makes it better. Too much makes it messy, and everyone notices. Then there's a law that sounds dramatic, but it's painfully practical. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Reputation is a shortcut other people use to decide how to treat you. If your reputation is competent, you get patience. If it's dramatic, you get filtered out. If it's unreliable, you get watched. You can work twice as hard with the wrong reputation and still lose to someone average with the right one. Sam had a phase where he said yes to everything. He thought it made him dependable, but the reputation he built wasn't leader. It was available. So when leadership opportunities showed up, people didn't think Sam can lead. they thought Sam can cover. Reputation is like a label on a jar. People treat the jar based on the label, even if what's inside has changed. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Because power isn't only defense. It's also visibility. Court attention at all cost. If you're invisible, you're easy to ignore. If you're ignored, you don't get chosen. This law isn't telling you to become loud. It's telling you to control how you're seen. Attention is like oxygen in a fire. Without it, nothing grows. With it, everything expands. That connects to a law people love to hate. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Read that carefully. It's not steal. It's coordinate. Power often goes to the person who assembles effort, frames it, and presents it as one coherent outcome. Sam used to think the hero was the hardest worker. Then he watched someone else become the hero by being the person who summarized the team's work, packaged it neatly, and delivered it upward at the perfect moment. It's like a movie. 100 people can build the set, design the lights, edit the sound, but the audience remembers the star and the director. Power rewards the face of the result. If that makes you uncomfortable, good. It should. But the defense is knowing how the game scores points. Next, make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. In influence, whoever chases is often weaker. If you're always the one asking, needing, pushing, you signal scarcity. The goal is to create pull, not push. Think of it like a magnet. You don't chase every paperclip. You position and things come towards you. Then comes a law that saves you from endless debates. Win through actions, never through argument. Arguing makes enemies. Actions create facts. You don't convince power players by being right, you convince them by making reality move. Sam once spent an entire lunch trying to persuade a stubborn teammate that a process was broken. Nothing changed. So he quietly ran a small test for 1 week, tracked the results, and then showed the team the difference. No lecture, just proof. The resistance melted, not because people suddenly became logical, but because the new reality was undeniable. Now, a quick warning law that's more emotional than tactical. Infection, avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Greene's point isn't judge people. It's that moods spread, cynicism spreads, chaos spreads. When you spend time around someone who's always losing and always blaming, you start absorbing their lens and your own decisions get infected. It's like sitting near someone with a constant cough. Even if you don't catch the same illness, your body stays tense waiting for it. Then, learn to keep people dependent on you. Dependency creates leverage. If people can't replace what you provide, they have to treat you carefully. This can be ethical. Teach someone, but keep the relationship. Build systems, but be the person who understands them. Become the bridge, not the brick. A bridge is valuable because it connects two sides. If you remove it, everything slows down. And here's a law that sounds like a trick, but it's really about timing. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. A well-placed act of sincerity can lower defenses faster than 100 compliments. Not constant generosity, strategic generosity. The kind that makes people think, maybe I misjudged you. But don't confuse this with being a people pleaser. Power is not begging to be liked. Power is controlling the frame. Which brings us to, when asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. People don't move because you deserve it. They move because it benefits them, protects them, or enhances them. If you want support, connect your request to their win. It's like selling. You don't sell the drill bit, you sell the hole in the wall. So far, you've heard the early patterns. But now, the laws start getting sharper. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. This doesn't mean you become paranoid. It means you listen. You ask questions. You observe what people value, fear, and hide. Information is leverage. Sam once joined a casual team coffee chat and noticed something. The person everyone thought was nice and harmless was the one who always asked, "So what's the plan? And who decided that? And are you sure leadership is aligned?" That person wasn't chatting. They were mapping power. Information is like a flashlight in a dark hallway. You don't need to run, you just need to see. Then, Crush your enemy totally. This is one of the most dangerous laws to apply, but one of the most important to understand. Half measures create revenge. If you choose conflict, don't leave the other person enough power to strike back. In daily life, and this often means something simpler, don't start wars you can't finish. Don't escalate if you're not prepared for the full cost. Now, a law that feels like a magic trick. Use absence to increase respect and honor. If you're always available, you feel cheap. Scarcity creates value. Not because you're playing games, but because people appreciate what they don't constantly get. It's like music. If the song never pauses, the chorus doesn't hit. Silence makes the next note matter. Then, keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Predictable people are easy to manipulate. Unpredictable people force caution. This doesn't mean being chaotic. It means not letting people know exactly how you'll respond. A simple example. If someone always dumps work on you last minute and you always accept, you're predictable. If sometimes you accept, sometimes you negotiate, sometimes you redirect, they can't assume. Their behavior changes. Now, here's the part nobody talks about. The law that protects you from self-made prisons. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. When you isolate, you lose information. You lose allies. You lose the informal conversations where decisions actually form. Power is social. Even if you hate politics, relationships are the network power moves through. Sam tried the just work hard and go home approach. He thought it was pure. Then he found out big changes were decided over casual hallway jokes and after-work dinners he never attended. He wasn't excluded because people hated him. He was excluded because he wasn't present. It's like refusing to use roads and then being shocked you can't reach the city. Next, know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. Not everyone reacts the same. Some people forgive easily. Some hold grudges like collections. Some are calm until they aren't. Power requires reading the room before you move. You don't pet every dog the same way. Some want affection. Some want space. Misread it and you get bitten. Now, do not commit to anyone. This is about keeping freedom of movement. If you tie yourself too tightly to one faction, you inherit their enemies and their limits. The smart move is to be useful to multiple sides without being owned by any. It's like diversifying. If all your value is tied to one place, one person, one group, you're fragile. Then, play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. People love feeling smarter than someone else. If you let them feel superior, they lower their guard. The point isn't to humiliate yourself. The point is to let the other person reveal themselves. A fisherman doesn't jump into the water yelling, "I'm catching you." He stays quiet and lets the fish bite. Next, use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. Sometimes the strongest move is yielding at the right time. When you're outmatched, resistance makes you a target. Strategic surrender buys time, resets the battlefield, and often irritates the opponent into mistakes. Like bamboo in a storm. The oak fights the wind and snaps. Bamboo bends and survives. Then, concentrate your forces. Power hates scattered effort. If you chase 10 goals, you own none. If you focus on one key relationship, one key project, one key skill, you gain momentum. A magnifying glass doesn't burn paper by being huge. It burns paper by concentrating sunlight into one point. Now, play the perfect courtier. This law is about social intelligence. You can be talented and still lose if you make people feel uncomfortable, threatened, or disrespected. The courtier knows how to flatter without groveling, how to disagree without humiliation, how to be present without being needy. This is where Sam had to grow up fast. He got invited to a higher level meeting and treated it like a debate club. He corrected someone publicly. He was right, and he paid for it. Afterward, a colleague pulled him aside and said quietly, "You don't win in that room by being correct. You win by making people feel safe choosing your idea." That sentence changed his entire approach. It's like steering a boat. You don't slam the wheel. You guide it smoothly so nobody spills their drink. Next, recreate yourself. People accept the identity you repeatedly perform. If you want a new role, you can't wait for permission. You build the image through consistent signals, not fake signals, clear signals, how you dress. It's what you volunteer for, what you refuse, what you speak about, what you're known for, then keep your hands clean. Power attracts mess. If you're always the visible one doing the dirty work, you become the villain in someone else's story. The principle is to avoid being linked to actions that create resentment. In modern life, that can mean letting policies be policies, letting processes be processes, and not being the person everyone blames for unpleasant decisions. Now, play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. This isn't only about religion, it's about certainty. People crave a story that makes life feel meaningful. Leaders who offer a simple, emotionally satisfying narrative gather followers fast. If you've ever seen someone build a loyal audience online by repeating the same clear message, odds are you've seen this law in action. Belief is like glue. Facts are like nails. Both can hold something together, but glue spreads faster. Then, enter action with boldness. Hesitation invites doubt. When you move decisively, people assume you know what you're doing. Boldness creates its own gravity. But boldness isn't recklessness, it's commitment. It's moving as if you've already accepted the cost. Next, plan all the way to the end. Most people plan the first step and then improvise chaos. Power players imagine consequences, obstacles, and how the story ends. They don't just want a win, they want a win they can keep. It's like chess. A beginner celebrates taking a piece. A strong player is already thinking about the position 5 moves later. Now, make your accomplishments seem effortless. If you look like you're straining, people sense weakness. If you look calm, people assume strength. Effortless doesn't mean you didn't work. It means you don't advertise the struggle. A swan looks peaceful on the surface while paddling hard underneath. Then, control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. This is a negotiation superpower. You don't ask, what do you want to do? You offer 2 or 3 options that all lead to outcomes you can accept. People feel free, but the boundaries are yours. It's like giving someone a menu where every dish benefits the restaurant. Next, play to people's fantasies. Most people don't want raw truth. They want a story that flatters their hopes. If you can package your message as the version of reality they wish was true, you become persuasive. That's why branding works. That's why certain leaders become irresistible. They sell a dream, not a spreadsheet. Now the laws get more psychological. Discover each man's thumbscrew. Everyone has a pressure point, an insecurity, a craving, a fear, a secret pleasure. If you know it, you know how to influence them. This doesn't have to be cruel. It can be as simple as knowing what motivates your boss, what triggers your coworker, what your friend actually needs. A safecracker doesn't smash the door, he finds the mechanism. Then, be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. People take cues from how you carry yourself. If you treat yourself as low status, others copy the script. If you act like your time matters, your standards matter, your presence matters, people adjust. It's like setting the price tag. If you price yourself cheap, don't be shocked when people bargain. Next, master the art of timing. Power is not just what you do, it's when you do it. The same sentence said in the wrong moment can ruin you. Said in the right moment, it can crown you. Timing is like surfing. The wave is moving whether you're ready or not. You either catch it or get dragged. Then, disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. Neediness is visible. If you react strongly to what you can't get, you reveal weakness. If you stay calm, you keep control. Sometimes the most powerful reply is indifference. Next, create compelling spectacles. People remember what they can see: a strong presentation, a symbolic gesture, a public win. Spectacle shapes perception, and perception shapes reality. It's like fireworks. Everyone looks up. Even if the sky was already beautiful, fireworks hijack attention. Then, think as you like, but behave like others. Standing out too much creates resistance. If you want to introduce something new, you often have to package it in familiar language. Blend in when it protects you. Reveal originality when it benefits you. A brightly colored bird gets spotted first. Sometimes camouflage is survival. Next, stir up waters to catch fish. When emotions rise, people make mistakes. They talk too much. They reveal what they fear. They act impulsively. If you stay calm while the water gets cloudy, you can see opportunities others can't. But be careful. If you stir the water and can't handle the chaos, you drown in it too. Now comes a law that sounds like money advice, but it's Really power advice. Despise the free lunch. Nothing is free. Gifts come with hooks. Favors create obligations. The smartest move is often to pay your own way so you don't owe anyone your freedom. It's like accepting a ride from someone who constantly reminds you they picked you up. The ride becomes a chain. Then, avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. If you replace someone legendary, you inherit impossible expectations. You can't win by being the next them. You win by being clearly different. Sam saw this when a new manager came in trying to copy the style of the previous popular leader. Everyone compared him. Every mistake got amplified. The moment he stopped copying and started doing things his own way, the pressure eased. He wasn't competing with a ghost anymore. It's like wearing someone else's jacket. It never fits quite right. Your shoulders feel wrong. Your movement feels restricted. Next, strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. Groups often revolve around one influencer. If there's a toxic culture, there's usually a central source. Remove the source and the pattern collapses. This applies in friend groups, workplaces, even online communities. The loudest troublemaker isn't always the shepherd. And sometimes the quiet one setting the tone is. Then, work on the hearts and minds of others. People think they decide with logic, but they move with emotion. If you want influence, you can't only present facts. You have to connect to what people care about, fear and desire. Facts are the skeleton, emotion is the blood. Without blood, nothing moves. Next, disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. Mirroring can calm people because it feels familiar. It can also frustrate them because they feel their own behavior reflected back. Used carefully, it exposes without accusing. Sam used this in a tense conversation with a teammate who always blamed others. Instead of arguing, Sam calmly repeated the teammate's own wording back as a question. So, you feel like the deadline was impossible and the team didn't support you? The teammate paused. The anger dropped. But because the mirror made the teammate hear himself, a mirror doesn't shout, it just shows. Then, preach the need for change but never reform too much at once. People say they want change. Then they panic when it arrives. If you push too hard, you trigger resistance. The smarter move is gradual shifts that feel like improvements, not revolutions. It's like adjusting the temperature in a shower. If you turn the knob too fast, you get burned and yank your hand away. Now, never appear too perfect. Perfection provokes envy and suspicion. A small, harmless flaw can make you relatable and disarm jealousy. The goal isn't to look incompetent, it's to look human. Think of it like a polished table, too shiny and people are afraid to touch it. A little texture invites comfort. Then, do not go past the mark you aimed for. In victory, learn when to stop. Overreaching turns wins into losses. Pride makes people push too far, take too much, demand too many concessions. And then the room unites against them. It's like eating. Even the best meal becomes pain if you keep going after you're full. Finally, assume formlessness. This is the ultimate law. Don't become predictable. Don't become rigid. Don't become a statue. Adapt to the room, the moment, the shifting incentives. The person who can change shape survives every era. Water doesn't argue with the rock, it flows around it. Over time, it wins. Now, if you're feeling a little uneasy, good. That means you're seeing reality more clearly. These laws aren't telling you to become cruel. They're telling you that power exists and pretending it doesn't won't protect you. So, how do you use this without turning into someone you hate? You use it like a seatbelt. You don't put on a seatbelt because you plan to crash. You put it on because crashes happen. And Sam's final lesson was exactly that. He didn't suddenly become manipulative. He became aware. He stopped oversharing his plans. He learned to make his boss look good without shrinking himself. He built a reputation for calm competence instead of frantic availability. He paid attention to timing. He stopped arguing and started demonstrating. He built relationships so he wasn't isolated. He became harder to replace, not by hoarding power, but by becoming the person who could connect the dots. And the crazy part? The shift didn't take years, and letting the room rewrite its story about him. Here are a few things you can start doing right now based on what we just covered. First, pick one relationship above you and ask yourself a blunt question. How can I make this person feel secure while still increasing my value? If you can answer that, you'll stop triggering unnecessary threats. Second, stop announcing your next move. Share plans only with people who have to know, and only when the timing helps you. Third, audit your reputation in one sentence. If someone described you in 5 words at work, what would they say? Then start sending signals that match the reputation you actually want. Fourth, practice control of options. The next time you need agreement, don't ask an open question. Offer 2 clear paths that both work for you. Fifth, reduce emotional reactions in public. Even if you feel frustrated, pause before you respond. Calm is a power signal. Panic is a permission slip. That's it for this video. I hope it was useful and gave you something real to think about. Thanks for watching and have a great day.